Hi everyone, good afternoon. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, hi, good afternoon, good afternoon. Let's just wait for the others who are still joining the session. Because there were some errors for that earlier. Okay. Wait up. Some of you are still connecting to the audio as well. Yes, hi, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Yeah, let's just wait because I want to hear voices as well. So I need the others to have their audios connected as well, of course. Okay, so anyway, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you guys are having a good day so far. Okay, so for today we have a lot of things. Well, a lot, no, not really. I'll just simply continue where we left off. Okay. But first, of course, before we continue with like the discussion proper itself, okay, I just want to hear from you guys as well, just like yesterday. So just simply hear what you guys have been going through so far. It's just been a day, right? What you guys have been busy so far, and for you guys to be able to practice speaking more and try to be more comfortable using the English language as well, right? So that you'd be able to practice it since not everyone has the opportunity to actually have someone in their daily lives to actually speak the language, right? So that you'll be more comfortable, you'll be more used in using the language as well. Okay, so I'll just ask random questions, right? Out of the box questions that you guys can actually answer. For the recording of the previous sessions, I'll ask where it's being saved because from the previous ones, I know it was uploaded on the YouTube channel, but wait, let me get that again. Okay, but yes, these sessions are being recorded, so I'll ask where it's being saved so that you guys will be able to get a copy of it if it's um okay, if it was allowed. I'll get back to you on that. Okay, but anyway, yes. Hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon. So today's Wednesday. It's my day 3 of meeting you guys, hearing your voices as well. So I'll just ask random questions for you guys. Okay, I would want to hear the voices of everyone, of the people who's here. Okay, so I would just be asking about your day. Okay, and random questions, like for example, what are your favorite activities to do? Deep questions as well. Like for example, what things do you regret not learning to do? Or hypothetical questions as well, right? So that you can try to be more spontaneous with answering your questions. Like for example, if you'll be an object, what would you be? Right? There's like of out of the box questions. Since at times there are some interviews who are asking those type of questions, right? So you'll be able to at least experience it. Okay, let me, anyone who would like to volunteer, you'll be welcome to do so. Just simply raise your hand. Okay, but for now, let me call someone first. Let me call random people. Why is there a Redmi Note 10s? The name is not indicated, so I don't know who that is. But anyway, let me hear it first from the voice of Emily. Emily.
Hello,
Emily.
Miss. Hello, Coach.
Hi. Good afternoon. Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
How are you? How are you so far?
I'm doing great, Coach.
Doing great. How can you say that your day's going great?
Since I taking a nap 5 hours, since I have
Wow.
a graveyard shift.
Oh, you have another job as well. Is it like is it for a customer service or a BPO related type of job?
No, I'm a credit repair specialist.
Oh, okay. And since you're taking this particular session, do you have plan to venture or to like go to the VA path or as a
Yes,
full
I'm a
time?
BA, Miss.
Oh,
I'm a,
okay.
I'm 2 months, 3 months BA as a credit repair specialist. But I started freelancing last 2021.
Wow, it's been so long. How was the journey so far that you've had?
Mm, I took some clients in Upwork, but it's small or contract based. So I pursue on online job page so I can uh, do some long-term relationship in the client. So luckily, I have one client and the salary is enough for the month. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not taking any another client also.
Okay, and since you already have a client, right? It's like you already have started the VA journey. So, what prompted you to take these courses?
Uh I'm a bookkeeper, so I
Mm.
don't have any conversation with the clients. Just given me a task, so I not speakily. Ano yun?
Go, you can do it.
I'm not occasionally I speak to the client. So
Mm-mm.
this credit repair specialist, I took some calling bureaus in the US. So it's
Mm-hmm.
much better
To learn
to
or to
learn to
refresh.
learn.
Mhm.
Oh yes, 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 coach.
Oh, so it seems like you're taking this to at least be better or to be better with
Yeah.
the tasks that you're doing since occasionally you speak with a client as well, but not on a constant basis.
Yes.
How is your experience when you're talking with the clients?
Since I have a client, uh, Black American client.
Mm-mm.
My previous client is a white American, so I differentiate their character as this Black American is more generous and more kind.
Mm-hmm.
Since
Mm-hmm.
what you can say hindi po niya ano na
Yes.
wala akong experience
What
sa
is
credit
it?
repair.
Or how can you say that in English?
Ano,
They
ah,
don't look at the experience that you
yes,
had. Okay.
since I'm a bookkeeper my previous job, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know that I'm being a credit repair specialist to this since I
Is
had no experience.
the
I
task
have no
that
experience.
you're taking right now, is that a totally new task? Is it not related to
Yeah.
the previous job that you had before?
Yes, 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 coach.
Oh, so how are you able to learn or to adjust to this
Uh,
new task that you're taking?
the client teach me their business, so
Mm.
I learn from that.
Oh, so they personally taught you what to do, everything
Yes,
about the business, what task you're going to take. That's nice. That's totally nice. Okay, and is that
yes.
something that you plan to continue to do still, or will you take on like additional clients, for example?
Yes, coach.
Oh, you'll yes to what?
Uh, the person.
Will you take more clients, or will you stick to
uh,
this client for now?
I'll take this client for now since I have another client also, but it's
Hmm.
part time.
Mm-hmm. So this one
It's
is like
about,
full time.
yes, I'm
Oh.
a transcriptionist also.
Oh wow, a lot of things going on then.
Yes.
Okay. But with the transcriptionist, are you required to speak to the client as well?
No, I just send an audio to transcribe.
So they just send you something, then you'll just simply send it back to them. Okay. Okay. I see. I see. Thank you. Thank you very much for
Okay.
that, Emily.
Thank
I
you,
hope
coach.
you get more comfortable in speaking with your clients soon as well. It's good. Thank you for taking the courage to actually speak here. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you as well. Okay. Let me hear it next from, let's see, Luisa Serrador. Luisa, do we have a mic?
Hi, Coach.
Hi. Wow,
Hi.
very
Good
sweet.
afternoon.
Yes. Good afternoon as well. Very sweet and soft. Yes. How are you? How are you so far?
I'm good.
Mm,
I'm enjoying this training to enhance my communication skills.
Why? Why do you need to enhance your communication skills? Like, what will you do it for?
Actually, I was a field sales engineer, but since
Mm,
pandemic, I worked. I started working from home, so I don't
mm,
have any interaction outside. So I
mm,
need this training to refresh my communication. Particularly, I'm transitioning from corporate to freelancing. So
wow.
I'm targeting foreign clients. So I need to communicate and enhance in English properly.
Mm, what type of tasks are you eyeing for the freelancing?
I'm focusing on copywriting and
Mm-hmm.
funnel building. Yes.
Okay. So are you planning to take on like multiple clients at a time, or just one focused client?
For now, I'm planning to take at least two clients.
Mm. And is that
Yes.
something that you're already starting, or do you already have a client on your own, or you're still just preparing for now?
For now, I'm just preparing for a big break.
Okay.
and, and if that big break comes, I want to fulfill the result uh, for the client. And that will give me steps ahead.
Yes, yes. And being comfortable with speaking to the client will totally help with that as well.
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay, I see. And so far, what are the different preparations that you're actually doing for that big break that you're waiting for?
Right now, I'm in the onlinejob.ph, searching for opportunities. And I
Mm-hmm.
also enrolled in different online courses,
Mm-hmm.
focusing on freelancing and copywriting. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a fan of Bloody Mary. So
Mm-hmm.
if there's a free training, I always grab it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Taking all the
Yes.
chances that you
Yes.
can.
Oh, yes. And also, I'm visible in different platform to enhance my network.
Oh, what do you mean by visible in different platforms? Like,
And I mean in different group, Facebook groups, LinkedIn
mm,
groups, something like that.
so like growing your connections.
Yes, yes,
That's nice. That's
yes,
really nice. So, apart from that, for the preparation for that
yes.
big break that you're waiting for, what else? What else are you doing so far? Like, what
Um,
other activities do you actually do apart from that?
right now, I'm practicing writing different sales pages, like opt-in
Mm.
pages, email sequencing, and also I'm planning to show up on my Facebook, writing contents. That includes graphics and video editing.
Oh, that's totally nice.
Actually, I was overwhelmed, but
Why?
right now I'm taking it step by step, one at a
Hmm.
time.
Like, what are you overwhelmed about? Like the number of activities that you're planning to do?
Yes, from content
Mhm.
writing, graphics, video editing. So right
Yeah.
now, I want to you mean in freelancing, speaking, communication, and talking in English is very important. So
Mm.
this week, I'm focusing on these skills.
Mm. Wow. So there's like a
Yes,
schedule. That's nice. That's
yes.
totally nice. Being organized will help
I'm
with the overwhelmed feeling.
yes, I'm a planning person.
Yeah, we all have our different styles.
Yes,
That's also me. I need to plan before I go through with it because
yes,
if not,
it's
I'll
very important.
right. The nervousness is there if you're not planning something. So yeah, that's totally
Yes.
understandable. Okay. How about next week? What's your plan for next week?
So next week, I'm planning to write more
Mm.
uh, on sales pages and setting up in ClickFunnels. So
A lot of things to do.
by
Totally
then,
get
I'm ready
agree.
for that more challenging task,
Mm.
which is the client sourcing.
Oh, that's good. That's totally
Yes,
good. Taking a step
yes.
already. And you did mention earlier, right, that the previous work that you've had, is that something that you're still doing right now before you go through the freelancing stuff, or you're totally cut off already from that previous job?
I'm already resigned from that job.
Mm.
That was my 10 years corporate jobs. Yes.
That's
So
long.
when I stuck working from home, I realized that there's a bigger opportunity.
Mm. It must have been difficult to decide since you spent 10 years. That's a
Yes.
very long relationship.
Yes. Actually, I find it more I'm
Mm.
contented and more happy
Oh, that's
than
nice.
thinking going back to corporate life.
Mm-hmm.
Everyday struggle on traffic.
Mm-hmm.
That's my worst enemy
But
because
true.
as sales, I always travel a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to go back on that life again. So
Mm.
my priority right now is my family, and which was I did not prioritize them 10 years ago.
Well, that's nice. At least now you have time to be able to spend with your family, and it feels like with how you answered, you found what you really
Yes.
need and what you really wanted. So that's
Yes.
good.
Yes.
That's good. I'm wishing the best of luck for that
Thank you, coach. Thank you so
new
much.
path that you're actually taking since you spent 10 years. It's
10 years.
long.
Yeah,
It's
it's long.
difficult. It's difficult to actually start something once you're already used to that particular space, right? So very good. Very good
Actually,
for you.
I'm not, I don't know to others, but I'm thankful that I experience working from home.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes.
I agree. I totally agree with that. Like, working from home just opened up different a different world for everyone, different
Yes.
eyes for everyone as well. Because before, everyone was just used with the office
Yes.
setting, with the travel, going to office, and then going home, and then the same routine. But the working from home setting, for some, it was a blessing. For some, they're not really used with staying at home, right? So it
Yes.
really depends on the person. But for me, yes, it
Yes.
was. I agree.
Yes.
I agree with that
For a corporate person, yes, it's
because
definitely yes.
yes, I totally agree with the traffic because it instead of you already resting, right? You're spending your time just commuting.
Doing houseworks.
Right. Instead of you like doing something else already, and it
Yes.
actually saves as well. I'm not sure, but for me it helps to save money as well,
Yes.
with the commuting. But for some it does not really help as well, so it really depends. It really depends on the person.
Yes, it really depends on your point of view and on your
Mhm.
goal,
True, that's
and
true.
on the path you want to follow.
That's true. That's true.
Yes.
So good for you.
Thank
The
you.
work from
Thank
home
you.
setting opened up a different world and a different opportunity. Hopefully, it's totally a better opportunity for you in the long run. So let's cross our fingers for that. So good luck. Good luck with that.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
coach. Thank you
Thank
so
you very much
much.
for that, Louisa.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. And good job with speaking up as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Let's see. Let's see from the others as well. How about for you, Florence?
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, hi. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Doing great. How's your day so
Yes.
far?
My day so far is I accompanied my mother going to our to the bus station
Why?
because she's
Where's
go
wow? Wanting to know a nosy person. Oh, you just accompanied her.
Yes, she's going to Manila
Mm.
for her training in in Telus.
Oh,
Yeah.
she has a training as well. So you two
Yes.
have different trainings to go to
Yes.
go to go through. How about you? Apart from this, do you have other trainings for today that you'll be attending or that you need to do?
I have done my trainings because I have shared yesterday that I'm training for social media management.
That's true.
Uh, and the activities I have finished this morning.
Ah, very
Yes.
good. Good job. How about the rest of the day? What other activities do you plan for the rest of the day?
For the rest of the day, I'm planning to lay down and rest.
You're still not feeling better?
I still have a cough, a little cough,
Mm-hmm.
so I can speak more confident because I
Mm.
feel like I have a clef what do you call ngongo? That kind.
Yeah, cleft.
Yeah, the clef.
Okay. Yeah, it's totally difficult if you have colds. If you have cough on you, it totally limits the way that you're actually speaking. But drink lots of water. Hopefully, you feel better.
Yes, thank you.
Unlike yesterday, you sound a bit better compared to yesterday with the colds and the cough. So hopefully, gets better from now. So I just want to hear a bit of your voice as well. Just to check. Well, thank you for that, Florence. I would not have you speak too much since it might be a bit difficult for you as well. So thank you, and I hope you will be able to lay down later on to your heart's content and dressed up a lot as well. Good job, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How about for you? How about for you? What other people I have not? Rodolfo, Sumido.
Hi, Coach. Good afternoon.
Hi, hi.
Hi.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good so far, and there's nothing much to plan because I'm more of a home person, so
Mhm.
everything I enjoy is something I can do inside our home. So reading, mobile phones. That's it.
Oh, reading. What type of media do you actually read? Is it like books, articles,
More on books.
books? Okay, what genre are you fond of reading?
Mostly fictional books.
Oh, that's nice. I like fictional. I'm on the fictional side as well. Okay, and
uh, right
go
now,
on.
currently reading some inspirational books entitled "The
Mm.
Courage to Be Disliked."
Is it like a self-help book?
Yes.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Is it something that you can recommend if ever?
Well, I haven't finished the whole book yet, though I can say that yes, definitely it can help a lot of people, especially if they're going through something.
I'm sorry, what's the title of the book again?
The Courage to Be Disliked.
Mm,
Uh,
okay, okay.
I-
I'll try to take note of that because at times self-help books will totally serve its purpose as as its name, self-help books. Okay, and
yeah.
for the fictional genre, if you can recommend something like to others, what do you think will be the best book that you have read so far?
Hold on.
It's a difficult question, right?
Yeah, because there's a lot of options, and also I don't do uh favoritism. So
Wow.
I love all the books that I've read. Because uh, let me see.
Like, is there no book that you had high expectations on, but then when you started reading, oh, it did not meet your expectation?
That only happened when I read the Harry Potter Half-Blood Prince, and then I saw the movie. So yeah, I mean,
Okay, okay, okay.
because there's a big difference on what happened on the book and on the actual movie.
Yeah,
So
I
okay,
thought it's the book that you're talking about. And I was like, oh my gosh, why? Okay.
I
Oh, the book
prefer
and the movie.
yeah, I prefer the book more than the movie.
Yeah, that's well, they're totally different. There are really some limitations on the movie. What do you think are the disappointing points between the movie and the book for that particular franchise?
Um, Wait, I can't think much.
You can think much, right? Like, is it?
Just
Go on. Sorry.
oh, sorry. Mm,
Is it with the characters? Is it with how the actors portrayed it? Or is it like there's a specific plot that's missing?
Well, on the movie they changed as to who killed the Voldemort. It's supposed to be uh Draco Malfoy, and that's me. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's the only thing I can remember.
Oh, that's the only thing that you can actually
Yeah,
remember. Yeah, but yeah, there's actually a lot. If you're really going to compare books and
the,
movies, right? It
yeah.
will totally be different genres as
Mm,
well. Okay, okay, I see, totally understand. And
mm.
since you've mentioned that you're a homebody, yeah, me too as well. Anyway. Is this a particular career path that you're definitely pursuing, or do you have any other career path for now as well? Like, do you do office job as well?
I was part of the BPO industry before. I've
Mm-hmm.
been out of work since the pandemic started.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, this is like a refresher and something to, I need to start something again somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I've enrolled in this free training.
And is this like just something that's an option for you, or you're still
Um,
deciding what career path you're going to pursue?
I guess for me that would really depend on the circumstances. But right
Mm-hmm.
now, I would like to pursue full time being a VA rather than going back to the, you know, BPO
Mm-hmm.
settings again.
That's
Right now, I'm taking care of my two nieces,
mm-hmm.
so I won't have much time to go out because,
Mm-hmm.
I'm of course concerned with the security of these kids.
No, that's true. That's true. Especially these days,
Yeah.
I don't think it will really go away anymore. The situation, so we just really need to adjust and take care of ourselves better. Okay,
Right.
but for this particular career path, what tasks are you eyeing for?
Well, for me, talking to people isn't really a skill for me. So
Mm-mm.
I am actually looking forward to jobs that, less contact
Talking.
with, yeah, more
Mm-mm.
work.
True.
I'm a keyboard warrior more than a voice
Mm-mm.
actor, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm looking forward to jobs that, less talking, but still,
Mm-hmm.
you can do a lot of work.
I totally understand, and I totally empathize with you. That's
Thank
actually that's actually me as well, but I'm just forcing myself to talk.
I actually
Yeah.
tried before, before I transitioned to back office in the BPO.
Mm-mm.
I've also tried, live calls. Uh,
Mm-mm.
I it wasn't really for me, so I
Mm-hmm.
transitioned to back office chats,
Mm-hmm.
emails, and I prefer it more than talking because for
Mm-hmm.
me, talking really, it's tiring.
Yes.
For 8 hours, I cannot.
True. That's very true. Totally.
Especially
Especially. Mhm.
like for some BPO industry, one of the metrics would be, you have to have a good diction or pronunciation, right? And then
Mhm.
the energy. I cannot match the energy that they require from me.
Mhm.
So I stopped applying for those voiced accounts.
Mhm. Yes, that's totally understandable because of course we know our own strengths and
Yeah.
weaknesses, right? So if it's not really for you, at least you were able to try it, right? At least
Yeah.
you were able to know that, oh, it's not really for you, this is not the path that you want to take, right? So
Mhm.
now you're clear on what tasks you want to do, what type of job you want to pursue, so that's totally good. It's totally good. So hopefully you'll be able to, because I know there's a lot of jobs as well for
Yeah.
VA that would not really require a lot of talking, right? So hopefully you'll be able to land and get
Hopefully.
a full-time job, or at least a stint for that particular line that
Mhm.
does not require a lot of talking. But thank you.
Sure.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Rodolfo. That's something that I can totally understand and
Thank
relate
you.
to. Because um, me, I started as well as taking calls. And the reason why I took that job as well, because I'm not really fond of talking. So I just forced myself to have interaction with other people, and I cannot do face to face. So I opted to like just do it over the phone to start with that. And I'm like, no, this is too much. So that's why I applied to be a trainer. So at least there's some rest in between, not full on talking. So that's how I end up here as well.
That was also actually my, if ever I will be promoted, I wanted to be a trainer as well.
Right? It's totally ironic that you don't like talking.
But then you wanted to be a trainer.
That's true. You're not fond of me. I'm not fond of like really having that a lot of using energy to communicating with people
Yeah.
or doing small talks is not really my thing. I'm forcing myself to do it just to improve. I
Yeah.
think something that it can help improve myself. Right, but then I choose to be a trainer. So it's a totally ironic thing, but good thing that you know what path you want to take, right? You're
Mhm.
not on the verge of, oh my gosh, what will I do with this task? Because that's one thing that's difficult if you're not fond of communicating with other people. Because technically all jobs requires
Yeah.
you to communicate with people. That's why it's kind of difficult if especially if your characteristic is you're too much of an introvert. For me, I am too much of that. So it was difficult at
Same.
first to find what path or what career should I really take because it's hard. Everything I'm thinking of all the jobs, everything will require you to communicate with people. There's no job that would not have that, right? So at least
Yeah.
good, good, good. I'm
And
wishing, yeah,
oh,
yes,
sorry. No, I
yeah.
think
Go on.
I think it's also a good thing to to check on yourself on to know yourself more so that you'll
Mm,
be able to give more.
that's
I'm
true.
sorry, I forgot the term for it. So like you keep on evaluating yourself and your skills
Mm.
so that you know what you want in job.
That's true. That's true. That's why it's a good thing for you that you were able to try these different jobs as well, like the voice one, the non-voice one. So at least you were able to check, evaluate, right, what really
Yeah.
fits for you, what does not fit for you. That's why I actually salute everyone who's taking this VA path because it's something that I am thinking of as well. Because of course it's another type of job, but not something that I have the courage to do yet. So I actually salute everyone here because there's a lot of tasks that you can do. There's a lot of tasks that you can take, and it's difficult to take the first step. Like, where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? So I admire everyone that knows, or at least are taking the chances on what they should take, where they should go, what they should do. So good job. Good job with that. Good job with everyone there. And thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you as well for sharing that, Rodolfo. Okay, thank you. I'm sure there are some who actually related to that as well, right? Because
Yeah.
most likely that's why you choose to work from home. It's either you have a lot of tasks that you need to do, or you really prefer working from home, right? You
Yeah.
prefer less interaction with people. So that's good. Thank you.
Thank you, coach.
You're welcome. Thank you as well. So let me ask other people as well. Let me hear the voice. Oh, Joseph, it's a very high tone. Joseph, Joseph, you have a mic, an audio working with you? No, none. Yeah, I can't hear anything from Joseph. That's sad. Oh, anyway, let me ask other people that. How about for Rosin? Oh, I like the name. It's kind of a unique name.
Yes, coach. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. It's my first time hearing your voice. So, how are you?
Uh, okay, boss. Okay. Yes, coach. I'm fine this afternoon.
You're fine. You're fine this afternoon. That's good. That's good that you're feeling fine. What are the activities or what are the things that you have done for today so far?
Uh, Mostly household chores.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and apart from this training for today, do you have other sessions, for example, or trainings that you will be attending as well?
This day I don't have only this training, but within this
Mm-hmm.
week, I have a training regarding real estates.
Oh, wow. Okay. What specific training would that be about?
Since this month, coach, I joined as a real estate agent in one of
Mm-hmm.
real estate company in the Philippines. I know you're
Mm-hmm.
maybe you're familiar with Filipino homes.
Yeah, I've heard about it. Yeah, so is that a path that you're going to pursue?
Yes, but also, coach, last month I also enrolled myself in online job.ph, but until
Mm-hmm.
now I don't have any clients so far.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm.
while waiting, uh, I'm glad to have this opportunity to enroll
Mm-hmm.
in this course in
Mm-hmm.
order also to enhance my communication skills.
Yeah, that's true. What do you need these communication skills for? Why do you think you're taking this particular session?
First of all, coach, if uh, blessings will come, I have a client, so of course I need to communicate with my client
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
fluently, and
Mm-hmm.
also if with related also to real estate, if I have some foreigner client, so
Mm-hmm.
I can communicate with them
Mm-hmm.
fluently also.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Hopefully, hopefully. Okay. And for the VA tasks, or at least the online job that you were talking about earlier, what's the path that you're taking on with that, or what are the tasks that you're aiming for, or that you're applying for at least?
Mostly, coach, about designing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, is it like graphic design?
something like related to AutoCAD, coach.
Oh, okay. I see. Or do you have other tasks that you're aiming for with that? Or is that really the type of jobs that you are aiming for?
For now, I also aiming for copywriting, coach.
Mm-hmm. Also for copywriting. I see. I see. Okay. And for the real estate training that you're going to have soon. Okay. I believe there's an exam for that as well, right?
Yes, coach, if you are a broker, but if you are just a sales agent, all you have to do is to
Oh.
acquire some accreditation from PRC.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So they're totally different. Oh, do
Yes,
you know
coach.
what's the difference between a broker and a sales agent? Because I'm not familiar with that field.
Yes, coach. So sales agent is the one. And this is the we have based on Rizal law, coach.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Sales agents will be under brokers. So one broker must have at least 20 agents. So
Mm-hmm.
agents will be the one to assist clients, but all the documentation, the signing, uh, sales agent is not allowed to do that. Only the broker.
Mm. Oh, so it's like the supervisor and and then their agents.
Yes, coach.
Mm. Oh, okay, okay. I see. So the exam is only for the broker because they're the one taking care of the documents.
Yes, coach. And
Mm.
last one, coach, if you are not accredited by PRC and you're selling some property, so
Mm-hmm.
by uh, Republic Act 9646, so you will
Mm-hmm.
be in prison if you will someone will find you, especially the NBI.
Oh. Oh.
So I was very thankful since this week I'm done with my training, 3 days
Mm-hmm.
training that is equivalent for 12 units CPD points. So that is
Mm-hmm.
one of the steps if you are going to be an accredited agent by the PRC.
Mm. Oh, do you need to apply for that?
Yes, coach.
Oh, okay. And how are
But
you like going to be
uh,
accredited by them? Like, will you have an ID, a certificate? Like, what is the proof?
okay. So all you have to do, coach, number one is at least you are college graduate or you took 72 units in
Mm-hmm.
college.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then after you are done with all the requirements in the PRC, so there is an oath taking, and after oath taking, they will give you a
Mm.
PRC ID po.
Oh, an ID. I see. I see. Mm. So if ever that we're going to buy something, so we need to do it through an accredited sales agent then.
Yes, coach.
Mm. Wow, that's totally something new that I've learned. Wow, thank you for that, Rawson. It's nice. It's nice that I was able to know about it. Wow, it seems like there's someone. But thank you very much for sharing that. And hopefully, the future training that you'll be having as well. You'll be doing good with that, and hopefully you'd be accredited soon. For that particular path that you would want to pursue, and will have your clients as well in the VA path. But thank you for speaking up as well. Just one more.
Uh,
Yeah, yes. What is it? What is it?
sorry, coach. I thought you. I think one more question. So,
No, no, no.
sorry, sorry.
That's totally fine. Thank you, though. You're doing good. Thank you. One more person. Let me ask one more person. Let me ask. Raisa, Isabel.
Hi, Coach.
Hi. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How are you? Well, how are you always? How are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm so sorry I cannot hear clearly because I'm only using my phone. But turn off the electric fan instead.
No, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. Don't turn off your fan. It's
But
too hot. It's too hot to turn off your fan. Be comfortable. Go ahead. It would not bother. The sound would not bother us. Go ahead. Turn on your fan. My gosh, it's too hot to turn off your fan.
it's
Okay.
okay. May I ask again what is the question?
Yeah, no, that's okay. I don't have any questions yet. I will be asking my question though. So, how are you doing good so far? What tasks have you taken on for today?
Actually, Coach, I did not attend the first meeting, and then yesterday I think you're already starting,
Hmm.
and I did not catch up all the lessons yesterday.
Mm.
Actually, I'm employed at night. I'm a call center. That's why sometimes I forgot, I have a schedule that I join in this particular training. So I
Mm.
forgot to attend in the first day, and then yesterday I forgot as well the time. That's why I didn't
Mm.
catch up all the lessons. But um what I think you're teaching about the what do you call this? I have a screenshot, just one moment.
For yesterday, what did we do yesterday? I also forgot. Sorry. No, some of them are about the word usage
Your
there. Yeah,
words
and
using, for
that's
example,
totally
fewer
fine.
words
Yeah, that's
or
totally fine if you were unable to attend the first session, because yeah, it's totally understandable that for most of you guys, of course, you have other tasks that you're doing as well. Like you said you're also working in the BPO industry at night. So is that a work from home setting type of work, or do you
yes,
go on site?
yes, coach. I'm working at home. That actually
Mm.
why I joined here, because I want to gain more knowledge in English, because I want to apply in another company that I failed before. So that's why I want to refresh my knowledge in English.
Oh wow, I like that. I like that. It seems like you want to challenge yourself by applying again to a company that you've actually failed on. Is that the BPO company as well?
Yes, that's a BPO company as well. However, their standard in English is much higher than my current company.
Oh, oh, I see, I see. So that's why you're taking this session. But you're still pursuing the BPO type of job. So you would not, or will you be having like a part-time as well as a VA, or it's totally just for that reason why you're taking this session?
Actually, coach, I want to apply for that company as well, because they have day shift. Because I want to also to become an BA, so I'll be able to do both if I'll be hired for that company as well.
Oh, wow. I like that there's a plan for that, what you want to do. Okay,
And
so
then I bought my personal computer as well for to become a
mhm,
VA, but I do not have any information yet. I just watch some lessons in YouTube
mhm,
regarding
mm,
or what kind of tasks that they would usually do. For example, like working as a Amazon BA, eBay, or
mhm.
that something like that. That's the only videos that I currently watch.
Okay, but I like that you have a plan on what you want to do. So you want to work on the BPO company that you're aiming for and also be a VA at the same time. So because they have a day shift. So well, are you planning for the VA one like after the BPO job?
Actually, I want to do both if I can. Kasi I really have a plan. I'm a breadwinner, so I provide to my
Mm-hmm.
family as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to provide for them more. That's why I really want to have a knowledge as well to become BA.
Okay, I see, and I support that. Learning more is will help you more. It will help you grow more and will help you gain a lot of different skills that you can use in the future as well. So that's nice. It's nice that you're actually equipping yourself for the future plans that you'll be having. Okay, okay, I see. And when do you plan to apply to that other BPO company that you're aiming for?
Actually, I already sent my application. I'm still waiting for the next step.
Oh, good luck then. Good luck then, since you've already sent in your application. So hopefully, fingers crossed, you'll be able to get what you're aiming for that particular company. Hopefully, you'll be able to pass that particular exam or interview or test that they will be having. What do you think was the reason or the factor that you were unable to go through before to that company?
I think the most important when you're applying to a job, you should be prepared. And before it happened last year, I'm not really prepared for some questions. So I rattled. I did not answer some of the questions. So now after my work and after any task, I'm providing an hours to actually learn some of the interview question, most interview question, and some possible answer. So I'll be more prepared for the
Mm,
interview.
why? What type of questions were you not prepared for?
I I, I think what the problem is, the most problem is if you're doing an interview, you should not answer by just yes. You should do
Mm-hmm.
something like provide sample scenarios, and then
Mm-hmm.
um for me that's it. You should not answer the question by yes or no. You
Mm-hmm.
should provide answers as well. For example,
Mm-hmm.
in situational, I learned now that um how to answer situational question.
Mm-hmm.
For example, you should provide something like what happened the if it for example it happened to me, I should provide an example for that and what I
Mm-hmm.
did to overcome it, and then what will be the results. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
learned that I can apply now for the interview.
Oh, well, that's true. That's true. That's totally true. As a person who's doing interviews as well, whenever I ask questions and some applicants just simply answer yes, no, okay, that's totally something that's not beneficial for the applicant. That's totally true. Instead of just simply saying yes, no, explain as well. Why did you answer yes? Why did you answer no? Okay, because at least having those additional answers, you would be able to boast more of yourself. Because of course, what's the purpose of an interview, right? To brag about yourself, to sell yourself to the interviewer and the company that hey, I can do this, so you need to hire me, right? That's totally true. That's totally right. Though, I like that you are preparing yourself for the possible questions and the possible answers as well that they might ask. But again, you're not really sure. Okay, what will be the questions of the
Yeah.
interviewer? So prepare yourself for a surprise.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully, you would not really rely on whatever questions and answers you have already prepared on. So it will be good if you'll be more spontaneous. But yes, that would totally help that you're practicing because at least you would have an idea or you would have at least a gist of, oh, these might be the possible questions and these might be my possible answers. I like that. I like that. It's totally good for you that you are preparing yourself for this. Good job. Good job. Hopefully, you'd be able to surpass and prove yourself to the particular BPO company that you're actually aiming for. Good luck. Good luck.
Thank you,
I
Coach.
You're welcome. Thank you as well for that, Riza. That's totally nice. Wow. Okay. It's totally nice talking to you guys. And good job as well for those who were able to at least speak up, right? Even though most of you guys, I felt the nervousness. Okay. So again, some key points: nervousness, very obvious for everyone. Okay, not really everyone, but for most of you guys the nervousness was there. But I like that even though you're nervous, you're still trying to answer my questions or whatever nosy thing I'm asking about. So thank you for that. And even though there were some difficulties in answering in English, right? You still tried your best. So good job with that. That's totally good. Never give up. Okay, and answering these questions because at least you would be able to experience. Okay, and this would totally be something that you would remember that I forgot the term for this. So now you would be able to remember that this is the term for that particular phrase or that particular word. Okay, and some key points for grammars as well. Most of you with prepositional lapses, like the use of articles and an. There were some instances that some of you used "an" when the next word starts with a consonant sound. So it's good if we can be mindful of that. But that you could take that step by step. So at least we were able to point out some of the lapses that we've heard and pronunciation as well. I believe everyone wants to be better with pronunciation as well, right? So common errors that I've heard, just like yesterday, or was it yesterday? Yeah. The BV sound, it gets interchanged a lot of times with some of you. Also PF sound. I'm not sure if this is quite common with Filipinos, but this is something that I commonly encounter with some as well. For the PF sound, it's not the letter F that gets pronounced with the P sound. It's the letter P sound that gets pronounced with an F sound. Is it like a factor of us wanting to speak better in English? I'm not really sure with that, but that's commonly the error instead. That it's a word with a letter P sound on it, but some of you guys pronounced it with a letter F sound, so maybe to sound better in English. So it would not really work like that. So if it's a P sound, it's a P sound. If it's an F sound, it's an F sound. What else? The TH sound, again, it gets pronounced with a D sound most of the time. And yeah, grammar lapses. Okay. Commonly the preposition, that's what I've normally noticed, though I did not really take note of those particular phrases that was mentioned incorrectly, but that's what I've noticed so far. And the nervousness. But it's good that you have the courage to actually speak up as well. If I ever did call your name. So good job, good job, good job, everyone. Okay. So anyway, let's continue where we left off from yesterday. So we actually left off with punctuation marks, right? Where's the punctuation marks? Here. There. Okay. So for punctuations, okay, so just like the example that we had yesterday. So again, for punctuation marks, they would totally help out with the meaning of what you would want to express to a particular sentence if it's something that's going to be read by someone else. Or, for example, if you're reading something, right? There will be times that you might need to read something out loud, and punctuation marks would totally help with conveying the meaning of that as well, right? Because you would know when to pause, when to stop, because pausing, stopping on a particular word, on a particular phrase, it would totally provide a different meaning on how the other party would be able to understand it as well. So we have here different punctuations, just some of the basic ones. So first, of course, our sentence endings. So for the sentence endings punctuation, we have three punctuation marks available for that. So you have the period, you have the question mark, you have the exclamation point as well. And I know that you guys are very familiar with this particular punctuation marks already, like this three, because these are the commonly used ones that we do have right now. So when are we going to use these particular punctuation marks? So first off, for the period, so it's placed at the end of what we call declarative sentences. So what are declarative sentences? They are sentences or yeah, there are sentences that would relay information, okay, or a statement. Okay, so anything that would relay information, that would provide a statement. So those are what we call declarative sentences. For example, I like reading, I like watching series. So there, if we're going to write it, right, there would be a period at the end of that because I'm just simply stating something. I'm just simply providing an information. So there. Statements thought to be complete and after many abbreviations. So abbreviations as well. What do we mean by abbreviation? So when we are shortening out a particular word, commonly, for example, for months rather, right? When we say December and we're going to shorten it, right? If we're going to write it, so we just put DEC, right? But to indicate that it's for December, we put a dot on it, right? So there. Wait, where am I typing? Right? So that's how we do it. For June as well, we type JUN dot. April, APR dot, right? So for any abbreviations as well, so we put a dot on it. For example, junior, we just put JR dot. Senior, SR dot, right? To indicate that this is an abbreviation. Okay, so there. So sentences that would provide an information that would just be a statement or any abbreviations. So that's the time that we put the dot on it, right? And then for another sentence ending punctuation, so we have the question mark. Okay, so for the question mark, this is to indicate a direct question when placed at the end of the sentence. So when we're asking something, right? When did you go to the mall? Right? So to indicate that it's a question, we put a question mark. When is your birthday? Right? When were you born? What time is it? Where are you? How are you? Right? So if we're asking questions, so we always put a question mark at the end of it. So the how, when, why, what, who, right? Whenever we start this sentence with those particular terms or those particular words, so we always end it with a question mark. And lastly, we also have the exclamation point. So for the exclamation point, when we want to express a sudden outcry or adding emphasis, or for exclamations, for example, for expressions as well. Like for example, oh my God, right? When it's being, when you are reading something with, oh my God, it's with an exclamation point. It's not, oh my God. right? Or holy cow, right? And if we are emphasizing a specific point, like for example, um, her words make me furious, right? To indicate that. So you're going to put an exclamation point on it if you are going to emphasize that it's really making you furious, or there's an extreme emotion for that particular information that you are actually sharing, right? So we have these three punctuation marks. So you have the dot, you have the question mark, you have the exclamation point as well. Okay. Now, apart from these three punctuation marks, so we also have the other punctuations, which is the comma, semicolon, and colon. Okay. So for the comma, semicolon, and colon, they would have different usage, of course, because they are different punctuation marks. So let's start first with the comma. Okay. So for the comma, so this is the comma, just in case. So this is used to show separation of ideas or elements within the structure of a sentence. So additionally, it is used in numbers, dates, and letter writing after the salutation and closing. So these are just some of the usage of commas. First off, direct address. Okay, this is commonly getting forgotten by everyone when they're just simply writing something. Like, for example, good morning, John. Hello, Kate. Here, thank you, Kath. Okay. So every time that we are addressing a particular statement to someone, you need to put a comma before their name. Okay, to whom are you actually addressing it to? Like, for example, you said, good morning, John. So you need to put good morning, comma, John, because you are addressing the good morning to John. Or thank you, Kate. So it's thank you, comma, Kate. Okay, it's not just simply thank you, Kate, without the comma. Okay, so it is to show that you are directly addressing that particular statement to this particular person. So it's commonly forgotten that there's a comma for that. Actually, commonly it would just be one straight sentence without any commas in between, or you're welcome, John. There should be a comma in between the you're welcome and the name of the person as well. Okay, to indicate that the you're welcome is directly addressed to John as well. Okay, so there. Also, separation of two complete sentences or two complete thoughts. So we went to the movies and then we went out to lunch. If they are totally different actions. Separating lists or elements as well. If you are, for example, enumerating something. Okay, so Tiffany wanted the black, pink, and red dress. Since they are totally different dresses, right? So there's the black dress, there's the pink dress, there's also the red dress. So to indicate that they are all different dresses, right? So we're going to put a comma in between that. Because, for example, you just simply wrote it like this. There. For example, it was just typed like that. Tiffany wanted the black, comma, pink, and red dress. So that would mean that there's a black dress. There's also a dress that has both the colors pink and red, right? It's totally a different meaning compared to if we have the black, comma, pink, comma, and red dress. These are three different dresses with three different colors. Unlike if it's just like what I have sent. So Tiffany wanted the black dress, comma, pink, and red dress. So it's just going to be two different dresses, one black dress and another dress with both the colors pink and red on it, right? So if you're going to enumerate something and they are totally different items, for example, or different people, right, or whatever it is that you're actually enumerating, so commas would be essential for that. So as for the reader to be able to understand that they are totally independent or different items that you are actually pointing out or enumerating. Okay, so there. So we have here for commas. Okay, these are just some of the basic usage that we have for commas. And next, we also have the semicolon. So for the semicolon, it's this particular icon, the dot and the comma together. That's the semicolon, right? So for the semicolon, this is used to connect independent clauses. So it shows a closer relationship between the clauses than a period would show. So if two different thoughts are connected, right? And you would want to show a relationship between those two different phrases, totally independent phrases. So you can put a semicolon in between it instead. For example, John was hurt. He knew she only said it to upset it. Okay, instead of putting a period at least, it would show that these two are totally related events or related thoughts as well. Okay, and apart from semicolon, we also have the colon. For the colon, it's the two dots. There, the two dots. Okay, so if it's the dot and the comma, that's the semicolon. But if it's going to be two dots, it's going to be the colon. Okay, so for the colon, it will have three uses. We'll have three uses for it. So the first is after a word, introducing a quotation, an explanation, an example, or a series. So um, it is kind of like the same with the semicolon, but a totally different one since the colon would provide explanation instead. So, for example, if you're listing out something, so he was planning to study for objects. So, what are those subjects? Objects for subjects. So, what are those subjects that he is planning to study? So, math, science, English, and history. Okay, also for independent clauses, when the second sentence or at least the second phrase, the second clause would explain the first clause. So I didn't have time to get changed, colon, I was already late, right? So it explained why this person did not have time to get changed anymore because he is already late. Okay, and the third usage of the colon is for emphasis as well. Okay, so we can use colons as well for emphasis. So there was one thing she loved more than any other, her dog. So it's to emphasize that the thing that she loved more than any other would be her dog. Okay, instead of just simply adding a comma on it, for example, or no exclamation. So it would totally provide a different meaning, right? So to emphasize a particular information, for example, or a particular object that you would want to specifically point out. So you can use a colon for that. So for colon, they would have three different usage. So if you are explaining something, providing an example, a series, for example, of information, so you can use a colon for that. Also, if there will be two different independent clauses and the second clause would explain the first clause, so you can use a colon for that as well, or to provide an emphasis, to emphasize a particular information. Okay, so if you would want to emphasize something, so you can use a colon for that as well. There. So these are the different punctuation marks that we do have. We also have apostrophe and quotation marks. So apostrophe and quotation marks, we commonly use this as well, right? Especially for apostrophe. We have seen apostrophes since earlier discussion. So for an apostrophe, this is used to indicate the omission of a letter or letters from word. For example, if we have a contraction, right? Whenever we are contracting phrases or words, so we put an apostrophe on it, right? Of a letter or letters from a word, the possessive case, or the plurals of lowercase letters. So for example, if we're going to use I have, we want to contract it, right? We're going to use I've. There, we put an I, comma, VE, right? For it is, it was, so we put it, apostrophe S. right? Whenever there will be a contraction. Also for possession, like for example, um, Mark's phone, right? It is to indicate that the phone is owned or belonging to Mark. So we put apostrophe S to indicate possession, right? Or Sarah's bag, John's table, right? So we always put apostrophe S to indicate that a particular object is belonging to this particular person, or it's the possession of this particular person. Okay, so there. And plurals as well for lowercase letters. Like for example, I told you guys to mind your P's and F's, right? So it's the plural of the letter P and the letter S for any words that are containing it. Like for example, there, right? So plural form for lowercase letters. So we put apostrophe as well on that to indicate that it's the plural form of these particular lowercase letters. Okay, so there's a lot of usage for apostrophe, actually, not just with the possessive form of the contraction. So for plural forms as well of lowercase letters, so we're going to put that as well. So it's not going to be just P's. It's not because it's PS. Okay, so to indicate that it's the plural form of that lowercase letter, so we put P apostrophe S for that. Okay. Also, some would use it for plural forms of numbers. For example, the tens, they put apostrophe S as well. Some, okay, or sevens, the fives. Okay, even for capitalized letters, sometimes it gets used. Like for example, Q and A's. So some also use that with apostrophe on it. Okay, though they're not technically necessary. You can just simply type Q&As like that if it's a capitalized form. Since if it's an uppercase letter, so it would already indicate that the small letter S is the plural form of it. But there are some, it's not totally incorrect if they're going to do that as well. The Q&A apostrophe S. Okay, but it's totally not necessary. Okay, even for the numbers, some would actually do this, the sevens, for example, but it's okay as well to actually do that. Okay, even for symbols, there are some that might put apostrophe on it to indicate that it's the plural form of the symbol. But again, not necessary. Okay, so there. Now, apart from apostrophe, we also have for quotation marks. So for the quotation marks, it's the two apostrophe together, right? Total of 4. So for the quotation marks, they are going to be used primarily to mark the beginning and end of a passage. Okay, if we are quoting something, that's why it's called the quotation mark, right? To quote that this is something that was spoken or that was mentioned by this person. Okay, so here, like for example, don't go to the mall, she said. Okay, if it was spoken, if it was mentioned by other people or by you, I said. Okay, so we can put quotation mark to that. So for example, there. So don't go to the mall is inside the quotation mark. So to indicate that it was mentioned by her. Okay. But we also have for quotation marks the single quotation marks, the single apostrophe. Okay. For single quotation marks, they are used most frequently for quotes within quotes. Like for example, you're already quoting something, but within that quote, there's still a quote by other person. For example, let me type something. June told the guard What am I typing? Wait. At the station. Here. Here, like for example, this particular sentence that I just sent. So June told the guard, comma, quotation mark, right? Because this was something that was told by June. So I saw Mark at the station and he said to me another quotation mark, but just a single quotation mark because it's inside the quotation itself and it was mentioned by someone else, specifically by Mark, who they're talking about. So Johnny started the fight and I believed him and quotation mark. Okay, so if you're quoting something, okay, and within that quotation, there's another quotation from another person, for example. So you can use single quotation mark for that instead. Okay, to indicate that this is mentioned by this person that I'm talking about. Okay, so they do have different usage for quotation marks and single quotation marks as well, especially if you're writing. Okay, so for quotation marks, if you're just quoting something, end of a passage, for example, okay, or you're mentioning something that was said by other people, okay, you're repeating it word by word, and single quotation marks, quotes within quotes. Okay, so there. So that's what we have for the different punctuations. Okay, just the basics one so far. Okay, so you have your period, you have your question mark, you have your exclamation point as well for the sentence endings. Okay, so every sentence would have a particular punctuation. Okay, always be mindful of your punctuation. And also we have the commas, colons, semicolons, um, the apostrophes, right? The quotation marks as well, single quotation marks. So those are just some of the basic punctuation marks that are commonly used. Okay, but we do have a lot of other quotation marks as well, right? Like the parentheses, for example, the dashes, brackets, braces. But the basics ones, so here, so they will be totally helpful, right? If we are writing something, especially if you're a writer, some of you are a writer here, right? So I know that you guys are totally mindful of your quotation marks. So yes, it's good that we are going to be mindful of our quotation marks because again, it would totally change the meaning of the sentence depending on your quotation marks. Okay, and it would be helpful as well for the reader to be able to understand you better if you have your quotation marks in order. Okay, if you have your quotation marks put properly. Okay, okay. And speaking of quotation marks, so this is something that would be totally helpful as well if we are reading something. If you are talking to someone and you're reading off from something, right? Because it would help you to know when are you going to pause, when are you going to emphasize on something, right? Should I emphasize on this word? Should I emphasize this sentence? Right? Because it would totally help you with the tone, right, that you will be providing to whoever is listening to you, right? It would totally affect the tone, the emotion, the pacing as well that you have depending on the punctuation marks. So since we mentioned about that, so here it would totally affect your voice as well, especially for those who might be talking to your clients, okay, or especially if it's a constant communication with your clients. If, for example, there are some tasks that you might need to do scheduling, right, with the clients or more communication as well. So voice would totally affect with that. Okay, and there will be some instances that you might need to read off from something. You might have a script that you would need to follow with your clients. Okay, and voice would totally affect with that as well, and would totally be affected by the punctuation marks as well. So your voice is going to be your agent if ever that you will be pursuing tasks that would need to constantly talk to your client. So, more than any other factors, your voice would serve to establish an image of you in the mind of others, of course, right? The tone that you have, is it monotonous? Do you sound sleepy? Do you sound interested? Do you not sound interested? Right? Especially for those who have experience with BPO as well, with the voice accounts, right? You know how totally important it is, right? That we sound pleasing to the other person on the line. We don't sound uninterested, okay? Because if the person that you're talking to does not sound enthusiastic enough or sounds, I'm not willing to talk to you, right? You know, there are some people who sounds like that, that I'm not willing to talk to you, but fine, I'm being forced to do this, right? Would you be willing to talk to them, right? Would you have the energy to actually continue talking to them? Sometimes the voice of the other party would totally affect you as well, right? It would affect the mood that you have as well to continue talking to them. Because if you feel like, oh, this person does not want to talk to me, you would not want to talk to them as well, right? There's this additional feeling that would be added up if that other party does not sound willing to talk to you. But on the other hand, if they sound energetic, for example, or at least they have a good tone, they are very responsive to you as well, right? So you'd be very much willing to be able to talk to that other person, right? So voice is something that would totally affect how you might respond to the other party, especially if it's just online, right? Especially for you guys, if it's virtual assistant, right? And you would need to talk to other parties. So you would just really be hearing their voices most of the time. Unless of course you can see them face to face as well. So some of the attributes of being a good speaker, just in case that they would need this as well. So good voice projection, of course. Um, it's not a soft tone. You don't sound so weak. Okay, you're not sounding weak. You're not sounding too loud as well. Okay, so just the normal voice projection. Okay, has average or flexible speech rate. So this is something that would be totally important as well. Is the pacing that you have on your speaking. Do you speak too fast? Do you speak too slow? Okay, because if you're speaking too fast, there might be an impression that you're too nervous, right? Sometimes if you're too nervous, you're speaking too fast. If you're speaking too slow, it might have the impression that you're not sure of what you're actually saying, right? Because if you're speaking too slow, it feels like she's not sure if she's saying, you don't know what to say next, you have doubts on what you're answering, right? So it should just be the normal pacing, or it depends as well on the other party that you are talking to, right? If the other party that you're talking to, you felt like they are in a hurry, there are some people like that. They might be in a hurry. They just simply um, had you on their schedule for the last minute, right? So they have other tasks that they need to do. So they need to finish whatever they're talking to you about quickly. So of course, you cannot have a slow pacing with that. Because if you have a slow pacing while the other person is on a hurry, right? So that would totally irate, for example, the other person, right? So we need to match as well the pacing of the other party. But of course, if they're just on a normal pacing, so have a normal pacing as well, right? So don't be too fast, don't be too slow as well. Okay, sometimes it's the emotions that we have. If we're too excited, if we're too nervous, for example, Okay, or if we have doubts on what we are saying, we tend to slow down as well. Okay, so just the normal average pacing or speech rate as well. And of course, to use pitch to an advantage to convey the real message. What we're pertaining to here is the tone of how you say things. Are you monotonous? Okay, because if it's monotonous, it's too boring. And the other party might feel like this person is not willing to assist me. This person does not want to talk to me. This person is sleepy. They're not interested talking to me. Right? That's why we need to have different tones as well. Okay, on how we relay the message. If it's a bad message, right? If it's not a good, if it's a bad news, so we tend to have a bit of an empathetic type of tone, right? Right? Not an energetic tone if it's bad news, right? Because it would be totally ironic. Or if it's a good news, so we tend to have a bit of a higher pitch, a bit of a higher tone to indicate that, hey, this is good news. This is an exciting piece of information that I'm going to share to you, right? Um, the voice tone, how do I maintain the voice tone? Effort. Char. So, right, it's practice as well. Because before I was monotonous as well. That's when I started like with the BPO. I was very monotonous. So it's really practice on how you would be able to maintain your voice tone. And a lot of guidance from other people. So I ask feedback from other people how they are able to hear me. Is it monotonous or am I improving with my tone? Right. So that you would be able to know as well. Because at times we don't really know or we cannot really gauge by ourselves if we're monotonous. Because sometimes you feel like I'm changing my tone. I'm not monotonous. That's what you feel like. But for the other party, they might hear it differently, right? Because sometimes we don't really hear ourselves how the other people's actually hear us, right? So it would really take a lot of feedback from other people and practice as well, for you to be able to maintain your voice tone. Because once you hear feedbacks from other people, you would be able to adjust yourself and you would be able to know, oh, that's how I spoke before. That's what they said was good sounding, good tone as well. So you would know that, oh, this is what I should maintain. This is what I should do. This is how I should speak then. Or especially the voice. For the voice as well, we're not really that mindful with our voice, right? At times you feel like you have a loud voice, but for the others, you don't sound too loud. You actually sound very soft, right? Or you feel like you just have a very soft voice, but for the others, you're sounding so loud, right? So it really depends on how the other people would be able to hear you, would be able to provide their feedback. For me as well, I felt like I have a loud voice. That's how I've always felt all my life. But upon hearing from other people, I don't really have a loud voice. I actually have a very soft voice according to them when I started. So it was a shock, right? So it's nice if you would be able to hear feedback from other people, especially in terms with your voice, with your tone, because you would not really be able to gauge yourself fairly if you would just base on how you're speaking. Like for now, how I'm hearing myself speak. Okay, you would not be able to judge yourself fairly with that. Or you can record yourself as well and then hear it. You would see, you would hear rather, you would hear, oh, this is how I speak. Oh, the tone is not good. Oh, my voice does not sound so loud. It's too soft. Okay, so it's practice and feedback as well, and being able to observe yourself if you would really want to improve in regards with the tone, with the voice as well, the speech, also the speech rate, the pacing. There will be times that you don't feel like you're too fast, but the other party will say, "Can you slow down? Can you slow down? You're too fast." Okay, so it really depends on how the other party will be able to perceive you right? Because especially if you're talking to someone else, right? Especially if you're talking to someone else, what's going to be important, of course, is how the other party will be able to understand you, how the other party will be able to hear you, right? It's not going to be important how you're going to see it. What's important is how the other party actually perceives the information that you are actually saying. So we actually adjust. You would really need to adjust depending on the person that you're talking to. I'm sure you totally understand that, especially for you guys, since you guys had other jobs before as well, right? So you were able to communicate with a lot of people, and you know that communicating with different people would mean different communication styles as well, right? So it's really adjustment, right? And being able to test the waters with that person, especially with the clients that you'll be having, right? Mind movie, what mind movie? The Mega Mind? No, but anyway, there. Okay, so it's testing the waters with the person that you're actually talking to. And getting feedback, listening to yourselves as well. That's very nice. It's very good because it's a continuous process to be able to improve your voice, your tone as well. But for tomorrow, I'll give you some reading exercises, a script, for example, that you can read so that you can check your tone as well, your pacing, especially for the nervous speakers. Okay, because a lot of you are nervous speakers, so a lot of you has their pacing like a bit fast. Some of you has their pacing a bit slow. Okay. Compared to how I would assume you would normally speak, right? If you're speaking comfortably to another person. So we'll have that tomorrow. I'll give you some exercises that you can actually do, and we'll hear you guys speak more, 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 more. Okay, so that we can provide feedback as well, so that you would know how the others are actually hearing you. Okay, so that it would be unbiased. Okay, unbiased as well. So there. Okay, but anyway, for that, that will be for tomorrow. We'll continue as well with some of the other attributes of being a good speaker as well for tomorrow. But for now, that's everything that I have for you guys today. I hope you guys were able to get some takeaways for today's session, especially being able to be more comfortable with speaking in English with a lot of audience that would be able to hear you guys. So for tomorrow, I hope I'll have more of you guys to speak more, okay, to practice more their English skills so that you'll be able to be more comfortable and be more used with the language as well, and not be scared to speak the language itself and not be too conscious as well. Okay, but for now, that's everything that I have for you guys for today. So thank you very much again for attending the session, and I hope whatever tasks you have for the rest of the day, if you're going to rest, if you have other sessions, if you have work as well, everything will go good for you guys, and stay safe, everyone. I'll meet you guys again tomorrow. Okay, thank you very much for the session today. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you as well. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you.